Pierre, pour quelle raison t'es-tu impliqué dans la campagne avec Autism Speaks?
Mais c'est juste avec on a deux jumeaux, puis un des jumeaux, on l'a fait diagnostiquer à l'âge de 2 ans et demi, qui était autistique. Alors je trouve qu'on a été chanceux qu'on a eu beaucoup d'aide avec les CRDI puis un thérapeute Christina. Alors ça a été un projet qui m'intéresse beaucoup. Puis si je peux aider d'autres parents à diagnostiquer leur enfant, puis promouvoir, faites la sensibilisation à la cause pour aider tous les gens qui sont affectés.
Il travaille avec une thérapeute depuis maintenant quelques mois. Est-ce que vous avez vu du progrès?
Avec Christina puis un thérapeute de CRDI, ça rêve, on a eu tellement de progrès. Juste un exemple, 3 mois passés, il n'allait pas aux toilettes. Puis en ce moment, il est propre, il est totalement propre. Avec l'aide de la thérapeute, ça nous a aidé beaucoup. Puis en ce moment, c'est de travailler le comportement avec d'autres enfants, qu'on travaille dessus avec la garderie, puis faire certains qui progressent de cette façon-là. Mais sans les thérapeutes, on serait encore en arrière. Avec les thérapeutes que Christina et la CRDI, ça rêve de la CRDI, on est capable d'avoir une progression de Léo qui le promouvoit à être un enfant typique.
What are the different levels? I know Pierre mentioned that Leo, his autism is sort of mild. What's the difference in terms of the spectrum?
Well, the spectrum is so huge that it's really hard to say because there's Asperger's syndrome, there's PDD, there's just so many different levels of autism. But what I can say for Leo is that he is high functioning because he's verbal. He does speak, he does interact. We're just trying to get him to interact in a good way right now, like asking for things nicely, sharing. He does want to play with others, so he's not totally isolated, which in some other cases where they're low functioning, you would see them isolated, fixated on one thing only, not non-verbal. So this, for Leo, it's good because, like I said, he's very interactive.
Pierre Groulx's son, Leo, was recently diagnosed with autism. Has he spoken to you at all? And if he did, what would you tell him?
We have not spoken. When I found out that I was going to do this sit down with you and Pierre had a son, I didn't know that. And so, no, we will definitely visit. Yeah, it's difficult. What I will say to him is he's got a long, difficult road ahead of him. I wish I could tell him that there's a formula that if you do this, this, and this, everything's going to be okay. Obviously, there's different levels. My son is very severe. He's nonverbal. He needs help with most day-to-day things that he does. So he's going to be with us, with my wife and I, for our lifetime. But you know, he's got a lot of challenges ahead, and I tend to try to be honest with people and say, listen, you know, you're going to have to be strong, but at the same time, you're going to have to reach out to people, and there's a lot of people that are affected by this, and you know, you have to use those people for support, and just realize that you know, there's a lot of kids out there that are affected by many different issues, whether it's neurological disorders, handicaps, you know, and obviously even worse, kids that are dying young from cancer or whatever the case is. So, but it's a tough boat to be in, and I'll tell them I'll be there to help them any way I can.
People just, they think that everything is normal. They don't want to face that their kids may have something. They don't want to title them, or what they call as labeled. They don't want their children to be labeled. So they kind of make excuses all the time, like, oh, okay, he's flapping, it's okay. Or, oh, he's stimming, or he just doesn't like noise because it's too loud, which a lot of kids who suffer from autism have sensitization, sensitive to noise.
Well, when your kid's born, you know, 10 fingers and 10 toes, and they look typical, you know, you think that everything's fine. So I think as parents their kids are 2, 3, 4 years old and they get these diagnoses later, I think a lot of times they're in denial, feeling like, well, you know, that can't be. But sometimes if you don't deal with it head on and right away, those early years while their brain is developing are very important to getting them to the best level you can get them to, and to ignore it for a year even and want to not believe it is something that can really hurt the child down the road.
Un mythe, les parents ont peur d'admettre qu'il y a un enfant, parce que l'autisme c'est un handicap. Mais je pense que le mythe, c'est que l'enfant ne peut pas progresser. Mais avec la thérapie, l'enfant progresse beaucoup. Il devient plus proche d'un enfant typique. Alors je pense que le mythe, c'est qu'un enfant autiste, on le laisse de côté, on ne le touche pas, c'est un handicap, mais c'est juste, avec beaucoup de thérapie, avec beaucoup d'aide, tu peux l'améliorer puis il peut être un enfant typique.
Merci.
Parfait.